Hi everyone. In this video, I will be reading the Romour Part 2 based on the show Fish Hooks. Alright, here we go. I know sometimes my printing is a little light, so I hope you can see it on camera. Anyway, Part 2. The next day, the boys are at Milo and Oscar's tank. Albert says, "Hey guys, I know it's kind of a girly game, but does anyone want to play Would You Rather Dating Edition?" Oscar says, 1, that's not a girly game, and 2, how do you play the dating edition? Albert says, it's simple. You will be given 2 names and will have to decide who you'd rather go on a date with. Milo asks, do we actually have to go out with the girl? Albert says, no. Though, some fish already have, winking at Jumbo. Jumbo thinks confused. What did that wink mean? Albert says, anyway, you want to start the game? Oscar says happily, yeah, who's first? Albert says, I'll go. Jumbo, would you rather go out with Bea or Angela? Jumbo, shocked and confused. Before I answer that, Albert, can I talk to you outside the tank? Well, it's the next tank. Outside this tank. Kind of thing. Anyway, Jumbo says quickly and madly, Jumbo quickly and madly takes Albert's fin and swims out of the tank. The 2 are now in an empty fish tank. The 2 are now in an empty fish tank beside Oscar and Milo's tank. Now I have a cough candy in my mouth because it's dry here, so that's what you might be hearing in the background. Sorry. Anyway, Jumbo quickly and madly takes Albert's fin and swims out of the tank. The 2 are now in an empty tank beside Oscar and Milo. Jumbo, shocked and mad, says, what's with that question? Do you know something I don't? Do you know something you shouldn't? Albert says, mad and defensively. Oh, you're one to talk. You got a secret girlfriend. Jumbo says, shocked, wait, how do you know about that? Albert says, remember yesterday when we were supposed to hang out? Jumbo, confused, wait, that was yesterday? I totally forgot. Albert, mad and annoyed. No, duh, you forgot. I waited for you for over an hour. And to make matters worse, you not only forgot about me, but came home with your friend's ex. And to top it all off, you kissed her afterwards. Jumbo nervously says, wait, you saw that? Albert says, mad, yeah, I saw that. I was hiding in the bush for crying out loud. And what's Oscar gonna say when he finds out? Have you thought about that? Jumbo says, yes, I've thought about it. I've thought about that. That's why we haven't said anything yet. Okay, sorry. Is this on camera? Fully? Alright. Okay, good. Well, are you ever going to tell, this is Albert, are you ever going to tell the rest of them? Pointing to their friends with his thumb, or part of his fin. Anyway. Well, are you ever going to tell the rest of them? Pointing to their friends with his thumb. Jumbo says, well, we were thinking of telling you guys when Oscar gets another girlfriend. Albert says, so never. Jumbo says reassuringly, no. You see, we have a plan to get him and Bea together, so you in? Albert curiously says, what's the plan? Jumbo explains the plan is to get... Jumbo explains the plan to Albert. Albert happily says, of course I want to be a part of that. Jumbo says happily, great. Albert says, we should probably get back now. Albert and Jumbo are now back in Milo and Oscar's tank. Milo says curiously, so, Jumbo, who did you pick? Jumbo remembering the question. Oh, right, that. Oscar, don't be mad at me, but I pick Angela. Oscar says, I'm not mad. Besides, it's just a game. It's not like you would actually go out with her. Jumbo says, unsure in a lying tone. Yeah, sure, I would never do that to you, I swear. Oscar says, good, because I'd be really mad if you did. And that's it, the end of part 2. So, I hope you enjoyed. Make sure to comment, like, subscribe, and I hope you have a fantastic day. Thank you for watching.